Morning, everybody. It's getting colder and colder, but we got plenty of work to do. So busy day on hand. I got to go to the deck, a deck job. If you've been following, it's a deck where we did the footings recently. Meet the guys, get them laid out, then run over to the other deck where we have the final inspection today, and hopefully get to meet the inspector, tell him what I'm doing over there. I really hope I don't miss him. I emailed him this morning. And then I'm hoping to do a few more, at least one or two more final walkthroughs, and then get some seat time in the office and do paperwork because I am way behind. Morning, Mush. Okay, kind of awake today. You're kind of awake. Get Mush. Okay. At least we didn't get the side-eye treatment this morning, right, Bruce? Bruce? Bruiser? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Icy. All right, on our way to take Abby to school. She thought I forgot to film her today, but I didn't. Come on, smile. Thank you. So I just ran over to the yard. We grabbed our Makita. This is a hammer drill, but a heavy duty hammer drill. See that bit right there? This is the 5/8 bit that we need for the concrete anchors. But I remember I didn't want to just go buy all the concrete anchors because I'm in the process of, well, you'll see it's but a process of laying out fasteners that we have laying around. I want to use them. So you can see this kind of mess, but look at all these concrete anchors. These are expensive. See, that's these here. What happens, you drill a 5/8 hole, and then you hammer this down into the hole. And then this spreads out. That little piece right there, the shield. Well, we did okay. I mean, we got 12, we need 13. So that's pretty good. These are the expensive part. Got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay. So able to scrounge up 12 nuts, but I can only find 4 washers. We'll have to run to Home Depot and get some washers, but that's cheap. I just dug through this other box I found, and I found a 13th with the nut and washer. That's a win-win right there. That's a big win. Just got to the deck job here. I beat the guys here, so I guess that's good, but here's our poured concrete footings. Looking good. Looking really good. So start building right away today. Hopefully we get this framed out in 2 days and start decking next week. We got King Kong just showed up, right? Good morning, King Kong.
Good morning, sir.
We got everything laid out, so we're gonna go over the job. So the guys are just getting a level line on the house, so we know where to start. Measuring down from the decking thickness from our flashing. We're gonna have to open the siding up on that side, just because we don't want water getting trapped behind there. And we'll have to do what we did here, J-channel flashing. So a little hiccup here because I normally use all 6x6s for bottom posts, and 6x6s use this large post base. And the large post base, you use a 5/8 concrete anchor, it fits through the hole. But we have a lot of 4x4 posts on here, and this 5/8 does not fit through that. It doesn't fit through the slot. So for that, we've got some 1/2-inch sleeves instead, and they'll fit right through. We use the 5/8 for the 6 larger footings, and then 1/2-inch for the smaller footings, and that should work out great. So they're doing good. Everything's clear now. Went over with Chuck, the homeowner, who's an awesome guy, and he already asking them what they want for lunch. That's how you know you got a great guy. So I am gonna head to the other deck, but I gotta grab a ladder. Geez, I hope I catch that inspector. Well, I made it to the job site, and I thought I beat the inspector, but then I saw this red sticker, not approved. Now, I knew 100% it wouldn't be approved if I wasn't here, because I know there's certain things that we had to talk about, but now I just have to call him and get him back here on probably Monday or Tuesday, because he wrote down what he wants. It's never as cut and dry as you think doing an inspection. You think, oh, just do it and he could come and inspect it, but when you're dealing with old structures and an architect, everything that some of the things that the building inspector wants are not on the plan. It's hard to know without communicating with the building inspector. But they're just minor things, so we'll be able to knock it out today and get them back here right away. So that's the good news. I just had to show you this. I'm cleaning out the truck because I'm missing some things over here on the deck. I got to do some things, and what do I find? My pin nailer. Remember, I was missing this. I thought it was in one of the guys' trucks. It was underneath the box in my truck. So got the gutter down by myself, which was no easy thing, being that everything is sort of sloped, and the gutter screws that were between that fascia and in there, oh my god, 2 of them were almost impossible to get. Anyway, now we're back to the ledger, and all my suspicions were true. The ledger locks are missing, so we're gonna put them in there, and then we'll see what happens. All right, so ledger locks are in. Got them all done, all bolted in. Now we gotta do a couple other little ancillary things. So I'm done buttoning things up over here at the deck. Still got to come back for, I'll show you. I just need 2 more skewed hangers. I was able to find 2 in the shop. I need 1 more there, 1 more there. That one doesn't need anything because that's just a nailer for the border up top. There I put a bracket on. I put 5-inch ledger locks in the bottom into the sill plates, and then I put 2.5-inch ledger locks above that to go into the 2x6. That's the inside rim joist, you could call it, of the basement. I put that very thick 90-degree bracket there with 5-inch ledger locks all the way through all 3 2x10s, and then I put 5-inch ledger locks in the W pattern to hold the ledger to hold the beam together more, even though it's doesn't need it, but that's okay. I think it's good anyway. So there's one more thing here besides for those 2 angle brackets that I have a question out to the inspector. He said he had a comment. I don't know what it means, so my architect doesn't know what it means either. So gonna come back when I do those 2 skewed hangers. I will do whatever else he wants me to do, and then we'll put the gutter back up and be done from here for good. Waiting for Abby. Had to pick up Abby from school, threw a wrench in my plans. So we're gonna get going now so I can get over to the other deck that Caesar, aka King Kong, is over on. So stay tuned. Just got to the job. They're doing pretty good over here. Customer wanted a pitch on this. You could actually see it. We don't normally put a pitch on a deck, but he wanted it, so we do it. Looking good. You guys are doing good now. Just went over a few details. with Chuck, the homeowner. And so we're gonna come back tomorrow, Saturday, and framing should be done. Then we got to get an inspection at my favorite town, where you got to go. If you saw the other video, you got to go in person. Only way to get a inspection scheduled. So unfortunately, Abby had to wait in the car and drink her Starbucks. You didn't even finish it.
I'm saving it.
Anyway, that's the end of today. It's, I don't know what time it is. 5 or 6? What time is it?
4:50.
It's 5 o'clock, so it's
Really
Friday.
You're always like...
Abby says I'm squinting. And that's going to be it for filming today. Gonna go bring Abby home and probably get some paperwork done. So, see ya maybe tomorrow. Frosted morning. Well, it's a Saturday video, so no Abby. And I left the dogs alone. It's actually a really busy day. Gonna go to the office, get some more hardware that we have. Go to Home Depot. Gotta get some 2x10s and stuff for King Kong over at the deck job. And then I have a roof estimate. After that, I got to go back to the office, do some paperwork, then go to a siding job to just go over the final paperwork, and then back to the office for more paperwork. It really is a beautiful morning. Again, we've been lucky with this weather. Unreal. I know the windshield's a little foggy, but I think you can still see how beautiful it is out. So anyway, the thing about running a business like this, when you're the owner and you're involved in everything, is the bottleneck ends up being you, me. So what I do is I focus on getting the jobs done, and getting quotes as fast as possible. Occasionally there's complicated quotes that take longer. Got one right now that I haven't done yet. But generally I give estimates while I'm taking measurements the same day. And then the bottleneck is that after the job is done, doing the paperwork to close the job out. That's one of them. So we call that billing. And the other one is if I give somebody their estimate on site, getting the contract to them after they say yes, maybe 3 days later, maybe that day, maybe a week later, a month later. I got a guy right now, it was 4 years ago. He said he's ready. So I just got distracted by the beauty of this place. Anyway, so the bottleneck is getting these contracts. So right now I've got half a dozen jobs that are waiting for, or people that are waiting for the contract. They got the price, they gave me the go ahead, and I got to get them the contracts. And so that's a bottleneck. So the bottleneck is that beginning, getting the contract, and then the invoicing. In between is what I focus on because I want to make sure the jobs go smoothly and I want to make sure they get done on time. Hope that makes sense. Just want to show you these prices. This is why I save everything I can. Here's, let's see, we have those 1/2-inch lag bolts, lag screws, $4 a piece. These are a little long, no, not much. In fact, they're out of a lot of stuff. But think about that. It's like $200 worth of hardware I grabbed before that was laying on our floor. We're just dropping everything off to the guys here at the deck. Looks like they're making really good progress on a Saturday. You know, Saturdays, not always the best, but sometimes they're better. Like I always say on Saturday, not as many phone calls and stuff. So we were just talking how we want to attach it, and we both agreed the way we like to do it. You basically cut your stringer, but make the last tread 1.5 inches short, and then you attach some 2x material, like a 2x8, 2x10, across the top of the back of all the stringers ahead of time, and then bolt that up to the deck, to the posts, and to the rim joists, or in this case, beam. We also have our tape. Gonna use our protective joist tape. So you see right there at the top, what the homeowner had is one stair at the height of the deck. And you can do it that way. It just requires an extra post here and an extra railing section. But now he just informed us, no, he doesn't want that. He wants it down here, which is how we normally do it. And another reason why we don't pour the concrete for the footings at the bottom of the stairs until we have the stringers done. And so what we're gonna do, once Caesar finishes the stringers, bolt the top all together so it's like one big unit. So he's marked where the stringers go, and then put that in place, and then with stakes would temporarily hold up the bottom where it belongs, and then we'll do one pour, call that a monolithic pour, where we're gonna pour concrete for the 2 sonotubes and for the slab all together. You see he notched, that's where he's gonna notch for the mounting lumber. So Caesar's just telling me he can't use this 2x12 for a stringer. This is how it came. You know? No good. So we'll chop that up and use for blocking, right?
Yeah. There's one block.
Use it for some blocking. All right, so guys are doing good. Gonna head on out of here and go to this roof estimate. Just finished a roof estimate. Sent my textimate to them, and hopefully we get that job. But I don't think I'm gonna do much more filming today. I just have to go stop by a siding job that you guys already saw and do paperwork with her. And it's Saturday, and I got to get back and do paperwork in the office. So we'll see you next time. Brucey's wide awake. All right, Brucey. Mush is sleeping peacefully. Another beautiful day. It's going to be a beautiful week. Abby's in the car, and we are going to school. Hi, Ab. Hi. Good Monday morning. So today we have a nice window job going on. Pretty big job, but we're throwing everybody at it, so we should knock it out one day. Going to be a new construction job. Taking down all the vinyl siding and installing new construction now flange windows. Put all the siding back up, obviously. Also on the agenda is I have to go to the town hall that we do not speak of. So I have to go there to schedule the framing inspection for the deck for Chuck. If you've been following along, that deck should be framed now. Everything should be okay. So we just need the inspection to be able to move forward. And then also on the agenda is to go to, we did a roof last week that we got to go back and do the gutters and one small piece of aluminum for them, little repair. That's supposed to be on the agenda. Hopefully also I get back to the other deck to put there's 2 missing skewed hangers to complete that job and get that scheduled for final inspection and be done with that deck. And then hopefully go do some final walkthroughs. I always say that, but it depends on how much time is in the day. And then I got a volleyball game with Abby. She's playing tonight or this afternoon. And then after that, I got to meet with a guy. This is my house that's still not done. And I got to meet with the kitchen guy at 5 o'clock to go over the cabinet material choice. But we're hoping to get some things buttoned up here. Nobody's seen this yet on the video, but this is my house. It was 1 level. Now it's 2, but we'll show more of this as we get closer to completion. But yesterday, which was Sunday, came up with a plan for the landscaping and stonework that's still got to be done. So at least we have a plan. It's a start. Hopefully this week we can get some of this done. And we'll show you some progress. But that's what's scheduled for today. Let's see what actually happens. All right, guys, so we're walking up to the job much later than I hoped. Just had a lot going on this morning. So, see, they got the sashes out of the windows to make it easier to carry them because there's large windows here. Okay. Got our protection going here. There's Davey. I was looking for you. You hiding in the truck?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm working hard.
But look at this. So this is how your house looks if you've got vinyl siding as original siding. In the house that was built, I don't know, in the past 30 years, maybe even more, it probably looks like this. Just tar paper. So here's an old window. I don't want to really get under the scaffolding right now, but here's your old window with your nail flange around it. And you see, I don't know if you can see it here, but it's rusty. The nails were rusty, and the reason they're rusty is there's water getting behind this stuff. I mean, that's what it looked like. We didn't rip anything off. The tar paper is just not fantastic. So, in essence, when we do this, we're actually making it better than original. Not just the windows being better, of course, they're going to be much better. But the installation is better than it originally was, because we're going to use flashing tape around everything, spray foam. You know, it's going to be so much better than what we have here. And we always put that bottom flashing in first. That's the proper way to flash the window before you put the window in. See, it looks like those nails are very rusty on this one here. Yeah, she's taking them out, but look, see all the rust? These guys are moving good, moving good. Takes a lot of people to get a job like this done in a timely fashion. So much work to do, and to do it right. So we designed these windows with a jamb to fit inside of this. We didn't want to take off all this trim. There's a lot of trim on this house. So save a lot of time and money by salvaging the trim. In fact, here's one they popped in. It's not really installed fully yet, but see, it comes right up to the trim. Occasionally, some spots is probably a little bit bigger gap, but that'll all be caulked. So this is just loose right here, but say tight here and loose in the middle, just because of the way the trim is. But that's going to look perfect, fits perfect. Now this door we're switching to a slider, which is much more practical. They basically hate this door, but because it's a full-size door, this has a bigger frame size than a standard sliding unit. So we're gonna build it in and put wide trim and make it look nice so that it fits a standard rather than spend the money on a custom size. All right, so leaving the guys, they're doing great. They're really doing great. I mean, it's only, I don't even think it's 10:30, and almost all the windows are set in. They just gotta be squared up. Then the flashing tape put on, the siding put back on, Caulked the interior, a lot of cleanup, but doing good. Homeowner is thrilled right now on their level of, let's say, cleanup, like while they're working, you know, keeping it clean. And the fact that it's going to get done in one day. So we're going to head out to some other things. All right, going to the building department to get my sticky note with a date on it. That's how we do it here. I just want to make it clear why I'm saying that, because it's not always, like I said, this isn't like new construction where you know, even new construction, but you know, you have the plan and then you have in the field whatever we're dealing with and how we deal with it. You know, whatever we come up with to try to deal with an existing condition may or may not be on a plan. Most likely not, because architects are not going to spend hours and hours trying to figure out, you know, how to put a ledger on a stone wall. So you kind of have to talk to the inspector during the inspection and say, hey, look, I just want to show you this is why we did this. And he doesn't have all day to look at a plan either. He's going to look at the plan, look at what you did and say, I don't know, this isn't clear, fail. So you have to talk it out. And a lot of the times on these residential jobs where we're retrofitting things, that's my point. All right, just came back to the other deck job, or the deck job where we just scheduled our inspection. Just wanted to check out the delivery that came and also do a quote unquote pre-inspection. So I'll explain again. Originally we had this stringer was up here with an extra tread, but the homeowner wanted to change it, so now we changed it so that it's going to be shorter, which is again why I didn't want to dig the footings in the beginning. So we're gonna have to dig under there, which means we got to remove this after we get the inspection because it's in the way. We'll have to remove it, dig the holes, pour the concrete, put it back. But it's looking pretty good, pretty good. Small deck, a lot of footings. All right, I am going to get out of here. I don't know if I mentioned this, but we don't normally use pressure treated lumber for deck framing. I've been using steel for, probably before COVID, so I don't know, probably 2000. First steel deck I did, I think it was 2017, 16 or, yeah, 17. So over 7 years we've been using steel. And, but this homeowner wanted lumber. That's what he's used to, it's what he knows, so we said, okay. But I gotta tell you, steel, in my opinion, is much better because it's flat. See, lumber is imperfect, obviously. The wood is imperfect. And getting good wood is getting harder and harder, so you know, you get a delivery and you got to kind of use what you got or run a few pieces back or order extra and return it. And then you're planing boards down and everything else, but you don't have to do any of that with steel. So steel is like perfectly straight and flat. And if you know how to use it, it's really easy to work with. It's intimidating at first, but I love it. I could have built that same deck frame out of steel by myself with no helper in one day. That's how easy it is. So hopefully we'll get to show you a steel deck or two.